Hey, and welcome back to P Talk, a place to spotlight all the amazing things people are doing inside of VRChat or out in the real world. I'm your host, Pumpy, and here, there's no drama, no mess, just a chance for people to talk about things that they love and the things that they're proud of. So come on in. This is P Talk. Hey, folks, welcome back to P Talk. We are back with another episode with our guest, Black Baron IV, or Black Baron 4, as you would. Is this properly pronounced and said? How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's been a really chill day, like usual. How about you?
I can't complain. I appreciate you asking me. Thank you very much. It's been a nice Friday. It's been a very nice Friday. Let's get into it a little bit. Who is Black Baron? What do you like to do in VR? Let's start there.
Well, I mean, in VR, I like to really just go to different game instances. I'm part of my group, Unbridled Chaos, so it's a really nice, chill environment, safe for people to be how they want to be, and they don't have to worry about getting kicked. We make sure everybody's protected and they have a blast constantly with the different instances that we open.
Is this a 18 plus verified instance as well, or what's the kind of vibe that we're looking for there?
Yeah, so the group is an 18 plus instance only. That's off the rough rip. We only open up 18 plus. Um, you know, we want only adult environment, and every instance we've ever opened since the start, which was about 6 months ago now, um, has been just 18 plus instances. So we don't ever do anything else.
Oh, very nice. So wait, you guys have been running for 6 months consistently now at this point. You said right? Okay,
Yeah, almost about. It's been about 3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months. Very nice. You guys have been running consistently, playing opening game instances the whole time, or always been doing games?
Oh, that's a good question. We originally started with clubs, so we would do, your everyday dance clubs where people can come in, dance, hang out, listen to good music, and just vibe. And then we swapped to game instances after, but um, we're actually about to end up doing club instances again, so come stop by.
That'd be a fun visit. So you guys are still gonna looking to do a mix of the club instances and also the game instances as well. Okay, keep it fresh
Yeah.
and exciting for everyone. Very nice, very nice. And what kind of games? I know you mentioned some Prison Escape and things like that. What kind of games do you guys do there? You looking for fresh games as well? Looking to try new stuff out for people?
Yeah, so usually when we find a game instance that we think is like really fun to play for whoever we have as a mod, because we'll let them open up whatever instance they feel like is a good idea, or it will be really fun for people. So it gives that creativity to the people that we do have under us, in regards of like mods or admins, and the community loves it. We're a growing community, and everybody usually stops by and packs out the instances. So we love that.
Is this the first group that you started running? Not the first group you've been a part of, obviously, but is this the first group that you started running yourself?
So it wouldn't be the first time I've been a part of a group that's running like this, but I will say that it's probably one of the best groups that I've been a part of that's running, because there's not chaotic leadership and all this toxic things that typically happen with other groups out there.
How do you go from like just chilling out, taking it easy, to wanting to even manage people, a staff, and members joining?
Well, that's a good question. So I originally would bounce around the party scene a bit, and I would bounce around the game scene, but I would say over time that it kind of got a bit boring for me, especially experiencing what a lot of other people would experience, which is that toxic mod that's just throwing people out just because, or you're questioning how they got that privilege to be a mod, and you have those bad run-ins. They get upset with whatever's happening in the game because you're good at it, or they just don't like your Abby, or they don't like your name, or whatever their issues may be. So, when I was offered the position to help with this one, I was like, yeah, it sounds great. It sounds like an idea that I can get behind. And apparently, it's for everybody. We grew pretty fast in the first month, up to 1,000 members in like 2 weeks or less. So it went pretty solid. And to manage all the people that come in with whatever issues, I would say it's all about remembering how to lead in the first place and do problem resolution as quick as you can.
Baron, you mentioned that you play games, you hop around, you keep busy, either in and out the game, got hobbies, of course. Um, what do you do for work, and what do you do, I guess, for day to day?
So actually, I'm retired.
Oh,
I
wow.
retired early at like 23 years old. Um, but for hobbies, I pretty much like set up my little Legos I got, video games, reading, history. But currently, I'm actually working on getting into crime scene cleanup. I have to do a certification for blood pathology. Um, so that's something I'm working on, and also going back into school, but I'm just bouncing from here to there when it comes down to certifications.
What were you doing before you retired? Congrats on being retired at a young age. What were you doing before that to even get to being there?
Yeah, so about 6 years ago, I was tanking for the United States Army.
Oh, well, first off, thank you for your service. Do appreciate that and what you have done for us out here. Appreciate you. So how long were you
Thank
doing
you,
that
but
for?
so I was on the professional term armor crewman, aka tanker, for 3.5 years. Um, so it was fun.
It's fun. It was fun for the time. That's fair. You did your time. You're like, all right, let me get on out. Or, how was that for your experience? What was that like?
So my experience for tanks was exactly as I wanted it to be. I love blue collar work. Blue collar work is to me the best environment possible because you can just be yourself. You can talk how you want to talk, do what you need to do, get the job done, and go home. But being on tanks, it just amplified that. The brother slash sisterhood's great because now when I was still in, we had the women tankers coming into the MOS. So that was also a blast to be able to be a part of that history and working with them. And overall, the commitment to everybody is just unique. It's nothing like it. It's the best job ever.
That's fair. And I'm guessing settled you pretty well because you were able to retire at a pretty young age as well to venture into some other different dreams.
Well, not exactly. So a combat MOS comes with its, ups and downs. But for me, retiring early was because of injuries that I sustained, not deployed, but
Oh,
there
wow.
were injuries that I sustained that changed my life for forever, basically. And I work and deal with them constantly, but those injuries forced me into a medical, not by myself, but by my leadership and medical council.
How was your adjustment, just handling that information?
Rough actually. It was all I ever wanted to do when I was younger. Like I said, I'm a history person, so one of my favorite things is the study of different things that man has created. So I love the Industrial Revolution and things like that. But when I saw tanks on the battlefield in history books, it was like, yeah, I want to do that. So I hit that dream. There's a lot of people out there that their dreams are to do whatever, but mine's, even though to somebody it may seem simple, but at least I can say I did my dream and I don't regret it at all. I do it
That's true. There's a
again.
lot of people out there looking at, magazines and book covers thinking, I wish I could, I wish I can. And you said, at least I did. If you don't mind me asking, you can choose how much to get into it. What happened that made you no longer be able to continue working for the army as you wanted to?
Yeah, I have no problem going into that. It was a rough 3 years. When I tell people that story, especially like other veterans and veterans who have seen combat, they actually never ask, have I deployed before I tell them, but they think that I have deployed after I tell them. So my first, like, probably 3 months in to training, I blew out my left kneecap and it shot to the right and diagonal. So the
Oh,
top of the knee was inside of my leg, basically on the spacing in between, and then my right hip also fractured. And basically, the drills will make sure that you graduate. So, needless to say, I won't say any names, but I made sure I passed because a buddy of mine, who I also won't mention for OPSEC reasons, but him and a couple of the guys held me down and popped my kneecap back in place, and
oh
then I
man.
finished my training and completed the at the time period 22, 23 mile ruck march with like 90 pounds on your back, up and down hills through mud and sand, and then I graduated on time from there. Got to my first duty station, and then a private. He didn't pick up my side of what's called a tough box, but it's like a giant crate, and it had my tank small plow equipment pieces into it that were like really heavy, and we had multiple in there. We picked it up and went to move it, and he didn't pick up my side on top of the truck, and so when they pushed it, it landed on my wrist and cracked my hand back like
Oh,
that.
come. Wait. Is
So
this the same time span, the same like
yes,
outing? Are you kidding me?
yeah. Like soon as I got there, this was already happening again. So my third injury, and then that was the one that was the most detrimental for that time period.
Kind of need your
So I
hand for a
popped,
lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
yeah. So I popped every ligament basically in the top part of my hand. And the ones that are underneath here, you can see them shoot up at the time,
Ugh.
but they had to take the nerve out of this. So this was classified as a level 10 injury. That's when your pain level hits up to that point and you're supposed to like have a heart attack and die. According to Stormontville University in Kansas, I'm a medical mystery because I was supposed to be dead 3 times over. I had
Wow.
3 level 10 injuries. After the hand injury, I had to actually wait an entire year for surgery to get done. So I had this hand injury the whole time, maintaining a steady heart rate on average of 167 over whatever. So every time I got tested, when I would go to the clinics for whatever necessary medical things, including like regular rotation to like NTC or something of that nature, then they would be like, "Oh, like your heart rate's too high," and I'd have to explain that to them so that way they understand like I'm pretty much okay. It's just nothing I can do at the moment. Um, so I lived with that for a while, and I finally got occupational therapy for my hand after my surgery was done, and it took the nerve out of my wrist to help drop my heart rate, so that way I wouldn't feel it anymore. So I can't feel my left hand and my wrist anymore.
So from left hand down, you're not able to feel that at all in the slightest. But you're still
Nope.
you have motor functions of it, of course, right? You
Mhm.
able to do everything with it, but cognitively you do not feel any type of anything in the nerves. Interesting. Okay, my apologies for this question, and I don't mean it to sound rude or insensitive. Do you have like a phantom sense in that hand? I mean in real life. I don't mean in VR. I mean, you know, like a phantom limb. They're called phantom
Yeah,
limbs, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you get my point. Do you kind
Yeah.
of have that a
So
little bit with the nerves, a little bit?
yeah, I do actually. There's moments where I can feel like the crushing sensation, or I'll feel like this
Mm,
immense amount of pressure. And it's like from when that injury occurred, all the weight of that crushing down, that's what it's making me remember and making me feel at that time period. So it's that phantom pain. But the funny thing is, though, like I wasn't hollering when it happened.
wow.
I just like pushed up with my right arm and got it out from under there, and it whipped out like a noodle, and it made my NCL almost throw up. So
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you had me a little like, oh man, that's a painful one for the hand.
but there were some leftover issues from that. And then from there, I just kept on doing it. I mean, this entire time period from the hand to the bleeding, the moment I would get out of anything, I'm right back on the tank. They just couldn't keep me away from it. Um, the moment I touched the tank, it's like all my problems faded away because, that's my dream job. If your dream job can't help you to do that, no matter what, then it's probably not your dream job.
That's a fair point. That you knew what you wanted to do. Like we said, your dreams. That was your goal. You're like, hey, as long the second my body's able to move again, I know I'm good to go. We're good to go right back to work. Get right back to it. That blue collar lifestyle, just like you said. You love what you do and do what you love.
Yeah, and then shortly after that was when we went to go do some training. Um, so at this training we do different formations and stuff, and for intel reasons I won't go into that. But basically we had did this certain formation. I hit a simulated tank ditch. My body at like 210 pounds with kit on went up in the hatch. So I'm 6 foot. The hatch is 6'1", so I went up, hit my head on it. But because I had my helmet on, it changed the impact trajectory for when my head curved. So instead of it breaking my neck and killing me, it shifted down to between my shoulder blades, broke something there. When I landed back down in full kit, it broke and gave me nerve damage from my L5, and then over time it aggravated my L4, and that was my level 10 injuries from there. So two of those.
So oh, you weren't even done stacking all the number of injuries.
So I've been dealing with this at the time period for well over a year, and I wanted answers. So I went in to this appointment, and she said, "You're not leaving here until I give you those answers," because she heard my story, and she said, "Yeah, that's not gonna happen here." So I ended up going through all these different testing, and it turned out that the nerves that I had in my L5 had been aggravated, and that the nerves I had in my L4 had aggravated and had spread. So now I can't feel my legs at time periods. They work, but I also can't feel the entire right side of my body anymore. And that was confirmed through her. Thankful to her, otherwise I would have never known. So from then on out, it became more of trying to get adjusted to my new body at this point of not being able to have pain sensation like everybody else.
You mentioned first it started with the hand, then it was the leg at some point in time, and then it kind of spread to being the right side of your body, correct? The entire right side of your body now. How was
Yeah.
that? I mean, because now we're leveling the degree of how much we have to adjust from from just what we were doing earlier in our
On
life.
top of that, my pain gives me depression and depression anxiety disorder. So, that being the case, I worked on that for years and I got a lot better through the resources that was there and present and all the techniques and coping mechanisms that they taught me. Most people don't work on that and then their situation becomes a lot worse. But my quality of life shifted a lot. I still don't regret it to this day. I do it again 10 out of 10. Overall, it is a big game changer. Level 10 injuries are no joke. At that point, I had three active 10 level 10 injuries, and I'm still tanking at this point.
And you were
I'm
still
spinning
going
wrench.
strong.
Yeah, I'm still spinning wrenches at this point. I'm still moving track. I'm still moving rounds. And then I got my promotion of position after that.
Remember you mentioning that you went through some mental health things and you picked up on some healthy coping mechanisms to work on the grief and the quality of life changes and the readjustments you had to go through. I'm curious to hear what was that like because not a lot of people, I guess, let's be honest, man to man, it's kind of not a hugely spoken about topic. So how was that for you and
Yeah, so
your
for
experience?
Yeah, so for the longest there, I was kind of like the stereotypical guy at the time. I'm not gonna work on this. Oh, I don't need it, and da 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 da. But I ended up joining a group at that time for mental health. Became an advisor. So I went from patient to advisor,
Oh, wow.
and that time period, it went great. It went phenomenal. I did that for years up until this year currently. Um, and I helped a whole lot of people from mainly crisis cases was what I was working with. And because of my story, they felt more inclined to open up a lot easier. And, I saved with that group over like 23 soldiers from suicide.
Wow. So again, thank you for your service and thank you for your service of keeping people on this earth. That's huge. That's huge. And I'm sure that's not it's not the reward you're looking for. There's no reward to have in that, but I'm sure it's a wonderful feeling to know that you're not some corporate, corporate thief at the top of the CEO food chain stealing from all the little people. You're at least doing something that people will remember. People really do
You
appreciate.
know, overall, I just think that maybe my story can reach somebody that maybe thinks their life is, you know, this bad and this, and maybe they can use my story as like this guy's like inspirational, this guy's motivational. Like if he can deal with all this, then I can go and deal with all this myself and get through whatever they're going through.
One thing I will say that I've noticed, especially talking with you, it's funny that you said that the mental health taught you that perspective is what it's all about. I was thinking, listening to you talk this entire time, is this guy has a very unique perspective on how he views a lot of the things he went through. You statistically could not have been here multiple times.
Yeah, that's actually is funny you meant statistics because with everything that I go through, all that's happened. Like I said, I'm a medical mystery from Stormontville University, and they did a study on me to try to understand why I was still alive. So they brought in everybody. They brought in neuro, they brought in ortho, they brought in all these different people, and they brought in psych actually. And psych confirmed that because of my upbringing at the time in low poverty in areas that my nervous system, the fight or flight response that's there, it's broken. It's always on fight. So because I'm constantly used to adrenaline being pumped through my body, when those
Mm.
things happen to me, it wasn't gonna kill me because I'm already accustomed to it.
But to be stuck in that fight or flight, again, that perspective of it having a positive impact years later. Not saying that you wanted to have gone what you gone through, but there was at least a reason for you going through what you have went through. And it did kind of pay off for you to be able to be here now.
Yeah, completely. I don't like how my environment was growing up at all. But because of that environment, it did give me some negative effects mentally, and I had to also go to mental for that when I was in. But if it wasn't for my nervous system being the way it was, I wouldn't be here. So there is some positivity out of that in that regard. Even though it's not the best outlook for how most people would say, or they would say that's crazy, which all of it is pretty much crazy. But
Mhm. Mhm.
I still am thankful that that did happen in regards because otherwise I wouldn't be here, and otherwise I wouldn't have met you and several other people out there.
Like I said, I really do appreciate you coming on out here. Is there anyone that you can think to shout out? I know you referenced the group. Anyone special in particular as well?
Yeah, it would be Jigglypuffy. With them, consistently with support, they're always, making things a lot better for me and giving a little bit more of a outlook on life when it comes down to like maybe some negative moments for myself. But it's also because they create such a fun, safe environment for everybody too. So
Hey,
yeah.
that's great. And sorry, who are they to you, real quick as well, so we are aware.
Well, how they say the best is always a woman behind you, so they're basically like my wife on here. So
Oh, that's awesome. That's sweet. That's sweet, and it's great that you have that support system, so to look out for you, the highs and the lows. Because that's, hey, let's be honest. There's a lot of that in life, right?
yeah, yeah.
And I know. Give me one more time. Just drop that group for the folks. Game group, club group, 18 plus verified. What's the name of that group again for me, please, and thank you.
So it's gonna be unbridled chaos. Come stop by, enjoy the chaos.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And who's the owner for that group as well, just so we're aware. Who's running that? Who's in charge?
So ironically, it has three founders,
Hmm.
and the first one is Jigglypuffy. Then you have Antoine, uh, who killed Antoine, and then you have Unknown, and all three of them are very, very nice. And if you need anything, they're always there for you to reach out to. But Young Boy Antoine, Jigglypuffy, and Unknown, all three of them are the trifecta for the chaos.
That's great. Hey, and that's awesome to hear. It's not like a tyrant. Like it's not, it's not a tyrant or a dictator situation. You got multiple people checking each other, making sure that hey, you're a little out of pocket here, dude, or hey, good job there. So it's nice. There's that trifecta, like you said, of support. So huge shout out to Jiggly, like you say, the missus, and Unbridled Chaos, the group, and those group owners. Baron, I really appreciate you coming on out here to the P Talk. Thank you so much. Is there anything
Hey,
any final messages? Anything you want to think to share for the people at home?
yeah, I'd like to say, first off, thank you for having me. But for the final message, if I can do it, you can do it. So that's
There you
it.
go. If he can do it, you can do it too. I love that. I love that. Baron, thank you so much again for the time. Folks, this has been P Talk. Thank you again.